Welcome to our channel. Today, we deliver a complete, factual breakdown of the major earthquakes that have just shaken the southern Philippines. This is not about speculation or panic, it is about clear, verified information. We cover the precise timing, magnitude, the geological forces at play, and the immediate impact on people and infrastructure. Our goal: a comprehensive picture from official sources. October 10, 2025, a stark reminder of this region's seismic vulnerability. It began on a seemingly ordinary Friday morning. Across southern Mindanao, life moved as usual, until the ground heaved violently. People rushed out of homes, schools, and offices. The region would be rocked not once, but twice. The first and most powerful of the two earthquakes registered on seismographs across the globe at precisely 09:43:59 Philippine Standard Time on the morning of October 10, 2025. This corresponds to 01:43:59 Coordinated Universal Time. The United States Geological Survey confirmed the event, as did the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology. Classified as a major earthquake, magnitude 7.4. The epicenter was offshore in the Philippine Sea, near the town of Manay, in Davao Oriental. It originated at a relatively shallow depth, approximately 23 kilometers, about 14 miles, beneath the seabed. The tremor was prolonged and violent, with buildings swaying and objects thrown from shelves. Even as authorities assessed the aftermath, the region was struck again. Approximately 7 hours later, a second powerful quake occurred, registering magnitude 6.8 in the same general area offshore. It triggered a fresh wave of fear and complicated response. Officials issued new warnings and inspections resumed. In any disaster, the most pressing and tragic information is the human cost. As reports solidified, a somber picture emerged from official sources in major outlets, including Reuters and Al Jazeera. At least 7 people were confirmed dead, with early reports suggesting up to 8. Among the deceased were 2 hospital patients who suffered heart attacks during the initial magnitude 7.4 shock. More than 430 people were injured across multiple areas. Injuries ranged from minor cuts and bruises to severe trauma. Local medical facilities were strained under the sudden influx. In hard-hit Manay, the hospital sustained significant structural damage. Approximately 200 to 250 patients were evacuated to safety. Staff established makeshift treatment areas in tents to continue care. Tsunami warnings prompted coastal evacuations to higher ground. Displaced families sheltered with relatives or in evacuation centers. The psychological toll of trauma and aftershock uncertainty will require sustained support. The twin earthquakes placed southern Mindanao's infrastructure under extreme duress. Widespread collapse was avoided, but cracks in walls and foundations were common. Compromised structures posed latent risks in aftershocks. Safety inspections became a top priority. Transportation and public services were impacted. Davao City's international airport reported cracks, but after a swift safety check, it remained operational. Classes were suspended. Non-essential workers sent home. Roads were cleared to prioritize emergency vehicles. With hospital foundations cracked, over 200 patients were moved and treated in tents. Urgent structural assessments and retrofitting are needed. Disruption was significant, even where damage was called minor. The offshore location raised the specter of a tsunami. Following the initial 7.4 quake, PHIVOLCS issued an urgent tsunami warning. Coasts within 300 kilometers of the epicenter were covered. Waves larger than 1 meter, about 3.3 feet, were possible. Even small tsunamis can create dangerous currents and inundation. Residents were strongly advised to evacuate immediately to higher ground or move inland. Large-scale evacuations followed along eastern Mindanao. About 7 hours later, the M6.8 quake triggered a fresh warning. Many waited for hours for the all-clear, aware waves can arrive delayed in trains. Fortunately, tsunamis were relatively small and major inundation was not reported. Warnings were later lifted. Early warnings and public preparedness proved vital and likely saved lives. The response was a real-world test. and a success for the country's tsunami readiness. To understand why these earthquakes occurred, look beneath the surface to tectonic plates. The Philippines lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a vast arc of intense seismic activity. It sits along the boundary of the Philippine Sea and Eurasian plates, in collision for millions of years. As NBC News notes, the country experiences over 800 quakes each year. The wide-near 800-kilometer archipelago spans multiple interacting faults. The Philippine Sea Plate subducts beneath the Eurasian Plate at the Philippine Trench. Plates can lock, storing strain for decades, then rupture violently. The 7.4 event released accumulated stress from a shallow 23-kilometer focus. A megathrust slip can displace the seafloor, generating tsunamis. Displaced water travels outward rapidly as tsunami waves. The shallow depth, large magnitude, and trench setting made swift PHIVOLCS warnings a scientific necessity. Science, alerts, and community action together reduced harm. Less than 2 weeks earlier, a deadly quake struck off Cebu. On September 29, 2025, a magnitude 6.9 earthquake killed at least 72 people, one of the deadliest in over a decade. The Mindanao quakes came only 11 days later. Seismologists concluded the events were not related. Distinct faults, far apart. Cebu involved a local Visayas fault. Mindanao ruptured on the Philippine Trench. Their near overlap in time was a statistical coincidence. The takeaway: seismic hazard is pervasive across the archipelago. By late October 10th, at least 266 aftershocks were recorded, ranging from M1.3 to M5.8, with 11 felt. Aftershocks can further damage weakened structures. Avoid buildings until cleared by engineers. Follow PHIVOLCS, NDRRMC, and local officials for real-time, verified updates. Keep an emergency kit ready. Water, food, flashlight, first aid. If this report helped you, tap that like, join our community, and drop your thoughts below. Your support powers more fact-first reporting.